What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Traderholic back with another video. As you can tell from the title, we're going to jump straight into it, man. January 1st, 2025 is less than a week away. 6 days away from a new year, right? And if you struggle with profitability this whole year, bro, make sure you stay to the end of this video, because at the end of this video, you should know I'm going to give you my full trading strategy in detail. Not only that, I will teach you how to build your own trading strategy if you don't like my trading strategy, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a bunch of different ways to trade these financial markets, but all of these different strategies have the same foundation. You just gotta work with what applies to you based off of the same foundation, right? So we're gonna go through over that checklist, and I'm gonna tell you everything that I use, and based off of what you know about the trading market or the Forex market or futures market, you could pick and choose for your how you want to build your own trading strategy. But I'm also going to give you my in-depth trading strategy as well, so make sure you stay to the end of this video to make sure you don't miss out on anything, right? So for first thing first, I'm looking at my notes over here because I had to write everything down first so I could pre-plan this video, something that I normally do, but I'm trying to be a little bit more organized, because normally when I'm posting my videos, bro, I just press record and start talking, bro, to be honest, right? But we're gonna get straight into it. So number one, first thing every trading strategy need is some kind of criteria to establish a clear direction. Right, let's make it just a little bigger so it could pop out a little bit more. All right, for one, you need to have a criteria for a clear direction. Now, me personally, my criteria for a clear direction is to look at the higher highs and higher lows for a bullish market, and to look at the lower lows and lower highs for a bearish market. Right, this is how I establish my clear direction. If I see we're making higher highs and higher lows, my clear direction will be bullish. If I see we're making lower lows and lower highs, my clear direction will be bearish. If we have a consolidation, there is no clear direction, so I cannot make a decision. Right, that's how you avoid taking unnecessary losses. No clear direction, no decision. So first thing you need to be able to do is have some kind of criteria for clear direction. Now, you can use clear direction based off of an EMA if you use an indicator-based trader, or SMA. You can use whatever you use to determine your clear direction. That's what you use. But from my personal experience, the best thing to pick a clear direction is pure price action, pure market structure, higher highs and higher lows, lower lows and lower highs, so on and so forth. Right, now, inside this clear direction, you need to be able to establish a clear direction on all the time frames you trade for. So if you are a day trader or somebody that holds day trades roughly from 1 to 4 hours per trade, which is the intraday / day trader level, right? I use the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame, and the 5 minute time frame, right? And I use clear direction on each of those time frames. Right, if you were somebody that was more of a scalper, you don't necessarily need to look at the daily and the 4 hour, because you really focus on that intersession volume. You really focus on just the trade of that session, whether you trade London session or New York session. So you could really look at the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, and the 1 minute time frame, or 3 minute time frame for like a scalper. If you were somebody that was a swing trader, you would look at the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, and then probably enter on the 1 hour for that clear direction. Right, so depending on what kind of trader you are, that's what the time frames I recommend you to be sticking with. So me, I am a intraday trader, so I like to look at the daily, 4 hour, and the 1 hour, and I use a 5 minute time frame for entries. Right, so let's put all of that down here. Top down analysis, top down analysis, in quotations, multiple time frame confluence. Not quotations, parentheses. I spelled confluence wrong, bro. Can I not spell? All right. For number one, need to be able to establish clear direction. After you establish clear direction, go on to step 2 of your strategy. Step 2 of the strategy is a AOE. This is what I like to call it, or a area of execution. Right, so basically a general area where you're looking to actually place a trade at. Right, so we're going to make sure you put this in parentheses as well. Area of execution. All right, have an area of execution. Now your area of execution could be different things. My area of execution, the foundation of my trading is support and resistance. So my area of execution is always at a support and resistance level. If you are a supply and demand trader, your area of execution will be off of your supply and demand levels. If you are a fair value gap trader, your area of execution will be off of your fair value gap levels. If you are a Fibonacci retracement trader, then your area of execution will be off of a fib level, so on and so forth, right? For all of the other different strategies out here there. But me personally, I trade support resistance, so my area of execution is always at a support or resistance level. The area of execution is a area of price that you, as a trader, expecting a. This is my definition of area. All right, let me back a little bit. This is my definition of area AOE, or area of execution. The area of execution is a area of price you, as a trader, are expecting a reaction after price reaches the area in the same direction as the number one step, clear direction. So let me give you an example. If we have a bullish market and we have a level of resistance support here, this is my, hypothetically speaking, this is my area, my AOE, my area of execution. I'm waiting for price to pull back into this area for me to take a trade, or to actually execute with confirmations, going with my overall clear direction that I established with step 1, which was we are in a bullish market. Like so. I'm not going to look at this area of execution at this level and end up selling when I know my step 1 says that we're in a bullish market. Right, just wanted to make that clear. So once you have your area of execution, you should only look to execute going with the direction of your clear direction that you established in first step of this strategy. Now we can move on to step 3. Step 3 you should have a entry criteria. So let's write that down. Entry how you spell criteria? CRITIRA. Was I close? CRITIA. Oh, I added an R. All right. Third step to building your own strategy, you need a entry criteria. Now, entry criteria could be a bullish engulfing, evening star, a morning star, a candlestick pattern, something like that. It could be a double bottom. It could be equal lows, equal highs, whatever the case may be. That's up to you to decide. But for me personally, for my entry criteria, I need a market structure shift on the 5-minute time frame, sometimes the 1-minute time frame, right? But most of the time, it's the 5-minute time frame. So what you might be asking, what do I mean by the market structure shift? If my clear direction was once bullish, right, we're overall going bullish. Actually, let me give you a new example. Say we are overall going bullish. This is my clear direction that I established on all my other time frames, that we are overall going bullish. But inside the lower time frames, like the 5-minute time frame, I see a 5-minute retracement showing me lower lows and lower highs, like so. My entry criteria would be a market structure shift, or a shift in direction off of this 5-minute downtrend. So this would be a 5-minute downtrend. My clear direction was overall going higher. We were pulling up into my area of resistance. I will just simply wait for a shift of structure on this 5-minute time frame. This would be my 5-minute most recent lower high. So this will be my bullish ISH shift. This will be my bullish shift once price break this area. And then let's say price decides to consolidate down here at my level. I'm not looking for sales because my clear direction was already bullish. This I have my area of execution, meaning I'm looking to buy at this level of support. But I don't just want to buy because we tapped into it. I need to see confirmations on my entry criteria. My entry criteria will be a strong rejection within session that gives me a market structure shift on a lower time frame, which would be the 5 minute. Actually take my buy, stop loss below the low, target the previous highs, or target my next level of resistance. Right, so this is my entry criteria. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. Right over here, clear direction. Step one, clear direction is bullish. Overall, on the say I establish clear direction on a 4-hour daily time frame, 1-hour time frame, and 5-minute time frame for my clear direction. Right. After I have that, I have my area of execution. My area of execution is my next strong level or potential rejection area of support in this case. Right. And then after that, I have entry criteria. My entry criteria would be a market structure shift on a 5-minute time frame to go in confluence with the high time frame, stop loss below the lows to target the previous highs. Boom. Very, very, very simple. Now let's get on to, that's just my criteria. Now your criteria could be EMA crossover, a sweep of Asian lows, or whatever the case may be for people, the ICT traders, or whatever. If you trade London session, you might be looking for a sweep of Asian lows or something like that. Wait, did I just? Oh, here we go. I'm about to say, did I just delete the thing? But no, I didn't. All right. So for me, my entry criteria is market structure shift on lower time frame. I'm gonna put lower time frame because I don't always use the 5-minute time frame. Sometimes I use the 1-minute time frame. Sometimes I use the 15-minute time frame. It's very situational, and you learn that from experience or building that quote unquote what they like to say market intuition. Right now, the strategy doesn't stop here. Right, this is not the full strategy. Right, this is not how you build it. You need other steps in strategy. We're gonna get into that. That's why I say make sure you watch the end of this video. So, step number 4. Every trading strategy has this as well. An overall profit target. An overall target that you think prices are going to go to, where you look to close your full position. Right? So we're going to label this profit target. In fact, we're going to label step 4 as management. You need risk management. So you not only need risk management before you take a trade by calculating how much you're going to potentially lose or could potentially make off of that one position that you're taking in that trade, but you also need to know how you're going to manage your trade as the trade is running. So you need management consists of let's add some more. Management consists of where are you going to look to trade stop loss? And when are you going to trade stop loss? So we're going to put where and when to trail stop loss. You need to know where to close partials. Trail stop loss to BE, we're going to put break even. You're going to need to know where to close partials. And not only that, you're going to need to know where to trail stop loss and profit if you want to hold runners. I like to hold runners, so I trail stop loss and profit. Right, so you need management. Last step. Well, not last step. Step 4, need to know how you're going to manage the trade once you actually be in it and it's actually running in drawdown or in profit. That's very self-explanatory. And you could use your management based off of, I use my management based off of my support and resistance. So we're going to label this support and a little bit of support and resistance. But some other examples for different kinds of traders out there would be your next key level, a round psychological number, your next supply and demand, your previous session low or your previous session range, a liquidity sweep or liquidity grab, or a fair value gap. Those are some other examples for more common different strategies, but you can use those as potential areas to manage your trade. Let's actually space these out because it kind of just looked cluttered just now. And you will repeat the same strategy or the same process every day during your session. You don't want to do this any time of the day, right? If you know you trade a London pair, you want to be doing this during a London session. If you know you trade a New York pair, you want to be doing this during a New York session. If you know you trade a Asian session trade pair, you want to be doing this during the Asian session, right? But this is the foundation of building a profitable strategy. For one, you need to be able to determine a clear direction. After that, you need to be able to determine an area of interest. After that, you need an area of execution. After that, you need to have an entry criteria, whether it's bullish engulfings, whether it's a double bottom, a double top, an inverted hand shoulders on the lower time frame, liquidity sweep, a fair value gap, a supply and demand, like EMA crossover, or RSI oversold or overbought, or divergence or something, like whatever it is, right? But I'm going to go over how I use this same entry criteria on a trade breakdown. So if you want to see a full trade breakdown on how I use this same foundation to actually build my own profitable trading strategy, you can watch a full breakdown all over my channel, or just my last recent video. I'm gonna put the link down to that video in the description. My last video before this video though, I did a full breakdown this exact trade right over here. As you can see, I called this trade. This was the day before New Year's Eve. Active sell stop on gold. This is my sell stop loss above the low. Above the high, target the low. So this is my overall target. This is my clear direction. As you can see, we're bearish. I marked off all my lower highs. My clear direction was bearish. My area of execution, or my AOE, was this level of resistance here. Wait for price to tap into that level on the lower time frame. This was my 5-minute market structure shift where I look to take my sell and I target the low. And I actually, added confluence, I have a 1-hour fib level drawn up here, rejecting off of a 618 on my fib. As you see, this was the actual trade I called. Later down here, this would be floating about $300 in profit. And this is my first target getting tapped into, which was targeting this low, where I look to manage my trade, closing partials, right? Floating 100 pips in profit. Then I had a further target, which was all the way down here, but because I knew New Year's was the next day, so where I decided to close at a 1 to 2, which was right over here. Right here was my 1 to 2, but my overall target was all the way down here. Then I had another trade over here. This is a whole different trade that actually won as well. That was this trade here. But if you want to see me break down this trade, link will be in the description for that video. If you want access to my trades where I actually call my trades at before and after, link will be down to my Discord server as well. And I also call them on Instagram. So on my new Instagram, I will put the link to that as well. I call it before and after on that as well. Before I actually execute on the trade, I call it days in advance, right? But without further ado, I'm going to do a live breakdown for what I see, what I will be expecting come this London session, right? Because everybody knows I trade London session. I'm going to show you how I do my breakdowns, right? So step number 1, decide a clear direction top down analysis, multiple time frame confluence. So with that being said, I like to use the daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame. So those time frames I'm going to use. So my daily direction, I want to look at my overall structure. As you can see, we're making lower lows and lower highs here. This push up took out the previous lower high where we started to go bullish. So my daily time frame is bullish so far. Looking here, we have higher highs and higher lows. And so daily time frame is bullish. Now I just want to mark off where is my most recent higher low at on a daily time frame. Just lets me know that as long as we stay above this area, we're technically still bullish. according to this daily time frame. So I like to set this as daily buys above. After I have that set, I got down to about 4-hour time frame, and just simply do the same thing. 4-hour time frame, I'm going to look at the overall 4-hour structure. As you can see, our 4-hour structure was bearish here, making lower lows and lower highs. We had a shift in direction going bullish. A 4-hour time frame is bullish. And what do we have here? The daily time frame higher low lines up with the 4-hour time frame higher low as well. So we can label this daily / 4-hour. So according to the daily and 4-hour, I should strictly look for buys above this area. So my step 1 is complete. I don't even have to look at the 1-hour time frame because the daily and the 4-hour is already telling me to buy. So I want to go with the higher time frames, being though I have 2 time frames telling me to buy versus the 1-hour time frame potentially telling me to sell. But if all 3 of them telling me to buy, I do want to go in the direction of all 3 of them. But as you can see here, clear direction is done, right? My clear direction is bullish, so I want to be strictly looking for buys on GBP JPY. Now I have my area of execution. How do I find my area of execution? I like to use support and resistance, as I said before. So looking at this daily level, I have a daily level of support all the way down here. I have a level of resistance all the way up here. We have a 4-hour previous high sitting right over here. Just go back to the 4-hour time frame. So this was 4-hour previous high. We broke above that 4-hour previous high with this big impulse move up. Price came down to retest the previous level of resistance, making it now new support. So this would have been my first potential area of execution. As you can see, price already came back to it, so it already happened. Then we gotta find our next area of execution. So we're gonna go to the lower time frame. Looking on the 1-hour time frame, we were inside this range here. As you can see, price trading this range. We had a break above the range, a pull back into it. Price continued up. Now we had another range sitting over here. Price was playing around with inside this range, struggling to make higher highs and higher lows. Struggling to break out of this range. As you can see, we finally got a breakout, a pullback, giving a faking out some sellers, thinking that price goes back below the range. We're going to trade to the bottom, and nope, all of them sellers that sold here, all of them got stopped out. You know why they got stopped out? Because the clear direction is overall buys, like I said before. So you should strictly be looking for buys. Looking on the, I don't want to use this for area of execution either though, because this area of execution already got rated or already had a reaction off of it. So I don't want to look at this one anymore. So we're just going to clear this one off the screen. Out of sight, out of mind. Now I want to look at this previous 1-hour higher high. If you look on the 1-hour time frame, as you can see, we had a consolidation here. Matter of fact, before we get a consolidation, we have lower lows and lower highs coming here on the 1-hour time frame. Now we have equal lows, a shift in structure. Now we see we have higher highs and higher lows. Boom. So the 1-hour is bullish. So this will be my previous 1-hour higher high. I will simply wait for price to break above this previous higher high. If that does happen, this previous higher high will be my area of execution. And I will be anticipating a pullback back into this area for price to continue higher to fill in the rest of this range. As you can see, we have support here. Now we have resistance. Let me know this is an area that price has potentially used as support and resistance. So I'll be anticipating price to break through this resistance, come back down as support, continue higher. So if I want to look for buys, I'm going to look for buys in this area. But before I enter, it has to be within side session and it has to break and retest. Very, very, very simple. This is how I'm using my level of support. My entry criteria. So here we go with my entry criteria. So I'm not entering just yet because it's not inside session. As you can see, we are in pre-London, not necessarily London yet. So for me to enter first, I need to see a breakout to the upside, closing above this resistance on the 1-hour time frame. The 1-hour candle to close above. Once I had that 1-hour candle to close above, I would just zoom in, drop down to the 5-minute time frame, and on that 5-minute time frame, I just need to simply see lower lows and lower highs for me. Coming back into this area, then a shift of direction with price breaking above previous lower high structure to continue bullish. We're gonna label this bullish shift. This is my bullish shift in direction. We're gonna make this red, so you know this was bearish. Now we're going bullish with a entry just like so. Stop loss will be below the low or below that 1 hour or 4 hour candle, that last candle, that rejection candle, and looking to target previous highs of the breakout for my first target with a overall target of all the way up here, because management, I will let's get into this entry criteria. Now let's get into management. So this will be my entry criteria, and within my management, I would look for this previous high to be my TP1, TP1, trail stop loss to break even. Right after that, say hypothetically speaking, say we floating in profit roughly up a 1 to 2 risk to reward. This is where I will be, my TP2 would be. Close partials. Trail stop loss to TP1. And then lastly, my final TP would be at this previous rejection all the way up here. Go in confluence with the first very first step, which was to having a clear direction, knowing that we are overall trending up. So we just want to follow the trend, right? That is a in-depth detail on how I use this simple example to that is an example of how I use this checklist to build my own trading strategy, and you could do the same thing just using this same checklist. Every trading strategy has a checklist that meets this system. One, a clear direction. You got to know whether you want to buy or sell for the day overall. You also want to have an area where you want to look to actually capitalize on those buy or sells. And you have to wait for price to get to that area as well. After that, you need a entry criteria or a reason to enter what you want to see inside that area of execution before you actually press buy or sell. Then you have to know how you're going to manage that trade as it's floating in profit or in drawdown, right? If you do this day in and day out, all come 2025, you will be able to make progress in your trading journey. Like, you will no longer struggle with being unprofitable, right? You're not going to go straight to profitability because you have to sample size the strategy that you do build, right? And figure out what works for you. But you will see progress in your trading career. You just have to be disciplined to using this same thing over and over and over again, and just do small minor adjustments. Like when I first built the strategy, my small minor adjustments was I went from using the 30 minutes to the 15 minute, or from the 15 minutes to the 5 minute, or from 5 minutes to 1 minute. I used to use the 3 minute, right? But I started to find out 3 minutes I was getting faked out too much, so then I started to use the 5 minute. Right? I used to use the 30 minute instead of the 1 hour, but I noticed that the 30 minutes faked me out too much, so I stopped using 30 minute as much and started to use the 1 hour. There's like little small minor adjustments for how I was picking and choosing my clear direction and just managing my trade overall. That'll wrap this up for today's video. And matter of fact, I want to show you this as well. On my Instagram, this was the trade I called here. Literally everything met. This was gold sales. Everything met the criteria to a T. So this is the first position. This is the trade I already broke down in my last video. Make sure you go click that link down in the description to watch this full trade breakdown. But this was the sell idea, selling in this area. I took this sell here. Check the date. This was 2 days ago where I posted this trade. But as you can see, the before I posted a trade was 3 days ago. So I posted the trade a whole day in advance. Then after this, I had another trade in the same area. I posted the before, bullish momentum. We had a bullish shift in structure. This was the bullish shift, creating high highs and high lows on a 5 minute time frame. My clear bullish structure. Wait for a shift of bullish structure to continue selling with the overall direction of my clear direction that I had from my previous step one. This was my most recent 5 minute high low. I just waited for this to get taken out to execute me on the sales. Stop loss just above the highs, and I look to target my overall lows as I did before. And this is how this trade played out right over here. Boom. This was this trade. 5 minute high highs and high lows. Took my sell stop right over here. Stop loss just above the highs. My TP1 was right over here. Because this was the day before New Year's Eve, which volume was very slow, where I decided to close my trade at a 1-to-1. But here you go. That's how. This is an example of my entry criteria. But if you want full breakdown, go on go to the link in the description. But we can wrap it up here, man. It's your boy Traderholic, and you just got a free pre-market analysis as well. But this is actively what I will be waiting for come GJ during this London session. But it's your boy Traderholic, and I'm out, chat. Peace.